In the realm of human connections, the most destructive force is often an unseen enemy: toxic relationships. Imagine navigating the treacherous waters of your life, guided by the stars of your aspirations and dreams, only to be lured astray by a beguiling siren song. This, my friends, is the enchantment of toxic relationships, a theme powerfully embodied in the Greek myth of Circe. Circe, the enchantress with her hypnotic voice and alluring beauty, drew sailors to their doom, much like the initial charm of a toxic relationship. It sparkles with promises of love, companionship, and shared dreams. It beckons with an intoxicating blend of passion and intensity, masking the treacherous rocks beneath the surface. Just as Circe lured sailors with her enchanting music and voice, toxic relationships often begin with an irresistible pull. They may appear exciting, passionate, and even comforting. The allure is strong and at first glance almost magical. The initial thrill, the heightened emotions, the promise of something unique and extraordinary. It's easy to see why so many find themselves drawn into its vortex. However, much like the unsuspecting sailors, we often fail to see the destructive force hidden beneath this beguiling facade. What once seemed like an island paradise slowly reveals its true nature, a desolate place of isolation, manipulation, and emotional turmoil. The enchanting song of the siren gradually turns into a haunting melody of despair. The allure of a toxic relationship is indeed powerful, but it's important to remember that, like the sailors lured by Circe's song, what may seem like an irresistible attraction can quickly become a prison of emotional distress. The initial charm and passion gradually give way to a cycle of manipulation, guilt, and emotional exhaustion. In the end, the allure of a toxic relationship is nothing more than a mirage, a siren song leading us astray from our true path. And just like the unfortunate sailors, those who fall for this enchanting illusion often find themselves lost and adrift, struggling to escape the whirlpool of emotional turmoil. Like the sailors drawn to Circe's island, many are enticed by the allure of toxic relationships, only to find themselves entrapped. As we journey through life, it's crucial to be aware of these deceptive sirens, to recognize their song for what it truly is: a call to destruction. Circe, with her intoxicating charm, cast a spell on the unsuspecting sailors, just as toxic relationships can ensnare us. Like the enchantress of the ancient Greek myth, toxic relationships often begin with a powerful allure, a seemingly irresistible charm that draws us in. Yet beneath this beguiling exterior lies a web of manipulation and control, subtly spun to entrap. Just as Circe used magic to transform the sailors into swine, so too do toxic relationships employ a kind of psychological sorcery. This often manifests in gaslighting, a form of psychological manipulation where one person sows seeds of doubt in another's mind, making them question their own memory, perception, or sanity. In the tale of Circe, the transformed sailors forgot their human lives, just as gaslighting can make us forget our own worth and reality. The spell of Circe, much like the manipulative tactics in toxic relationships, has profound psychological effects. It breeds emotional distress, eroding self-esteem, fostering anxiety, and often leading to feelings of helplessness. The sailors, once strong and courageous, were reduced to fearful, submissive swine under Circe's spell. Similarly, the victims of toxic relationships may feel belittled, powerless, and trapped in their situations. The emotional distress caused by such relationships can be severe, leading to mental health issues like depression and anxiety disorders. The sailors under Circe's spell lived in constant fear and despair, their human intellect trapped within the bodies of beasts. This mirrors the mental anguish experienced by those caught in the grip of toxic relationships. But just as in Circe's tale, it's crucial to remember that there is always a way out, a path to reclaiming one's strength and autonomy. The hero Odysseus, with the help of the god Hermes, was able to resist Circe's magic and eventually free his men. This shows us the importance of seeking help and support when dealing with toxic relationships. Beware, for the spell of Circe is not easily broken, and neither is the grip of a toxic relationship. But with courage, support, and self-belief, it is possible to break free and reclaim your life. Once under Circe's spell, the sailors were transformed into pigs, a poignant metaphor for the dehumanizing effect of toxic relationships. Just as the enchantress Circe held sway over the hapless sailors, toxic relationships can hold a similar power, changing us in ways we scarcely recognize. These relationships can strip away at our self-esteem, leaving us feeling lesser, devalued, and often unrecognizable to ourselves. In the grip of toxicity, it's not uncommon for a person to lose sight of their own worth. They may begin to accept less than they deserve, thinking it's the best they can get. Some even begin to believe that they're fundamentally flawed, that they're the ones to blame for the discord in the relationship. This is the insidious nature of toxicity. It has a way of warping our perception of ourselves and the world around us. Self-respect, too, often takes a hit in toxic relationships. When we allow others to treat us poorly, we send a message to ourselves that we're not deserving of respect and kindness. Over time, this can erode our sense of self, leaving us feeling lost and confused. But it's essential to remember that no one deserves to be treated poorly or made to feel lesser. Each of us has inherent value and worth that cannot be diminished by the actions or words of others. We deserve relationships that uplift us, that inspire us to be the best versions of ourselves, that respect our individuality and celebrate our unique strengths. Toxicity can leave us feeling like we're trapped in a dark tunnel with no end in sight. But there's always a way out. We have the power to break free from the chains of toxic relationships and reclaim our self-worth and self-respect. Just as the sailors were able to escape Circe's island, so too can we free ourselves from the grip of toxic relationships. It may not be easy, and it may require a lot of courage, but it's a journey that's well worth embarking on. In a toxic relationship, one may find themselves reduced to a mere shadow of their former self, much like the sailors turned to pigs. But remember, it's never too late to reclaim your worth and demand the respect that you deserve. Escaping Circe's island was no easy feat, much like breaking free from a toxic relationship. The challenge is as much about recognizing the toxicity as it is about the escape. It's about understanding that you are in an environment that doesn't nourish your spirit or enhance your growth, much like Odysseus and his men found themselves on an island that was more a prison than a paradise. One of the key strategies in breaking free is acknowledging the toxicity. Denial can often be a comfortable refuge, but it's a refuge that keeps us stuck in harmful cycles. It's about taking the blindfold off, looking at the relationship for what it is, and admitting that it's not healthy. Once you have acknowledged the toxicity, the next step is to seek support. Odysseus had his loyal crew, and you too need your own loyal crew. Reach out to friends and family. Their perspectives can often provide clarity, and their support can be a source of strength. Remember, there is no shame in asking for help. Self-care is another essential strategy. It's about taking care of your mental, physical, and emotional health. It's about making time for things that bring you joy, that help you relax and rejuvenate. It's about setting boundaries and ensuring you are not compromising your well-being. And finally, don't hesitate to seek professional help if needed. Therapists and counselors can provide tools and strategies to help you navigate through the process. They can provide a safe space to express your feelings and fears and work with you towards healing and recovery. Remember, it's okay to feel afraid. Escaping Circe's island wasn't easy for Odysseus. He faced his fears, he faced setbacks, but he persevered. And you too can persevere. You too can find the courage to break free, to escape the island. Just as Odysseus eventually left Circe's island, so too can one escape the clutches of a toxic relationship. After escaping Circe's island, the journey was not over for Odysseus, just as healing from a toxic relationship takes time. Like Odysseus, you might feel lost at sea, navigating through the waves of loneliness, guilt, and self-doubt. But remember, it's okay to take your time. Healing is not a race, but a journey. Self-love plays an integral part in this process. It's about understanding your worth and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. It's about realizing that you are not defined by the past, but by how you rise from it. Therapy can also